All right, I got this particular question here, which is similar to one we've just answered here, which is how do you phase yourself out of the bad habits you become accustomed/addicted to, especially when on the road to better things? So I'm going to keep this one somewhat short and sweet because we've already addressed this a little bit here. I have a real in-depth commentary on this and instructions in the Bulldog Mindset membership. If you're not already a member, I would go check that out and get in there because I think there's like 150 premium videos. I'm going to be adding new videos to that. But let's talk about this, okay? If you've got bad habits, you have to recognize all of the bad habits that you have, they are an addiction, but addictions, what are addictions? Addictions are things that you do in order to not do the thing you're supposed to be doing. Addictions come from feeling bad about yourself. Read the book, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Let me see, do I have it back here? I should have it. I do. I don't know if the original version, if he's made some changes to it. I hope he hasn't because the original audio was so good. Read this book, okay? You know, Stephen Pressfield, he talks about resistance. And the thing about resistance is that it causes you to procrastinate. It's what causes the addictions. All right. Because when you're trying to do something good, do something on a higher plane of existence, as you would call it, when you're trying to move forward, make progress in your life and grow yourself and your personal development, you're going to face resistance and it will do anything to stop you. And one of the ways it stops you is through addictions and bad habits. And one of the things that he talks about in the book is he says that when you're doing your purpose, when you're doing your work, when you're sitting down and getting the work done, all those things go away. You don't have to break the addictions. You don't have to break the bad habits. You only have to develop the good ones. The changing of your nature that's required in order to become a different person so that you do different things, because who you are determines what you do. It's not your willpower. It's not what you decide. It's not your mind. It's who you are. And you change who you are by what you do. It's not a contradiction because there's two different what you do's. There's the what you choose to do. There's what you're compelled to do. The what you choose to do is when you sit down at your desk and you do the work and you get done what you planned in a day. That's the discipline. That's the what you choose to do. The what you're compelled to do is the bad habits and addictions that you're trying to fight. And you're spending your energy trying to fight the bad habits and addictions, which is a waste of energy because the more energy that you give it, the more energy that it has, the more powerful it becomes. So how do you stop this? How do you break the addictions? What you got to do is you got to actually sit down and do the work. Like Stephen Pressfield says, again, in his book, War of Art, I highly recommend that. But he talks about this. He talks about this idea that once you're doing this, in fact, he said, I think there's a part in the book where he says, look, all of the pharmaceutical industries, all of the alcohol and drugs, all this stuff, they would all go out of business if people just did the work, if they just did their calling, what they're supposed to do. Why? Because those vices exist to distract you from the work, and they're the things that you seek out to destroy yourself so you can't accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish. But when you are doing it, you don't need that stuff. If you start doing what your calling is, right? Start building that business, start writing that book, whatever it is, going to the gym, focusing on the thing that you know that you're supposed to be doing in life and growing and developing yourself, you won't have time for those addictions. You won't need those addictions. You won't need that to fill the hole that is left by not doing what you know you're supposed to do. So there's your cure. There's your solution. If you got a question for me, email me at john@bulldogmindset.com. If you want to join the Bulldog Mindset membership, I'll have a link down below where you can check that out and you can get more information on this kind of thing. I'll see you tomorrow.